Hello, everybody. So nice to be here. As we always do, the last Thursday of the month, we're going to do some fun meditation. I always qualify the meditation as fun because if it's meditation, it's going to be always fun. If you don't do it throughout the month, we say we're going to do it and we end up not finding that time because sometimes it just doesn't happen. You're here, and that's your second chance to do it since last month. So it's all good. It's all good, right? Today we're going to talk about life agreements. Sometimes we say, how did I get here? I didn't even make that agreement. That was not what I signed up to do. Don't we see that a lot? I signed up to have this cool life, doing all these things that I had in my mind. You know, a career that would be perfect, a boss that would be top of the line. My house would look amazing, very organized. My kids would be so zen. Everything would be so great. And then all of a sudden, nothing is adding up to what I signed up. So the reason being sometimes is we have to take the bigger picture, zoom out a little more and see the agreement wasn't done when you were 13 or 20. The agreement was done few incarnations back. So there are things that we have said to ourselves, you know, this time around, I want to be a little more patient. So how about I go through some struggles that allow me to be a little more patient? Or this time around, I want to be a little more on the humble side. How about getting a life that requires that I be a little more humble than I would care to be? Again, it's not life happening to us. It's life happening for us. For a bigger situation supports, that's the foundation for all this that we're going through. Doesn't always make sense. We'll understand it later. But right now, it doesn't quite make sense. Even for short little things, you don't understand it today. Then 5 years later, you say, oh, now I get it. But for the bigger things, we don't get it. And it's going to take maybe another 20 years for us to say, now I get it. Or maybe not this lifetime. Eventually, we're going to get it. It's all a process, right? It's all a process. So this is one of my favorite things to do in life is to walk labyrinths. I don't know if you've ever walked a labyrinth. They're everywhere. They started in churches in France. When you go, and it's like a walking meditation. You walk into the labyrinth with an intention, with a problem, and then you walk out with some. It's a fun. Read about it. It's something great to do. There is something called the labyrinth locator in America. You enter that, and you can find labyrinths everywhere. So when I go to a new town, I look for a labyrinth so I can walk. Sometimes they are on the River Walk in Tampa. They have one. I've been to one here in Orlando. They have several everywhere. But it's a fun thing to do. It's a perfect meditation.
It's called labyrinth walk?
The labyrinth. A walking labyrinth. Meditation walking labyrinth. It's a whole nother world out there for you to have fun with. And life is like a walking labyrinth. You come in with something to address, a life challenge, something, a struggle that you signed up to do. You walk your labyrinth, you get to the center, you regroup, and you walk back. So I wanted this picture because I thought it would represent our incarnation, right? You come, you address it, and then you go. And you come back. There'll be more labyrinths. You're going to have a labyrinth locator to take you elsewhere. Maybe you're going to end up in Brazil again, or not, or here again. You know, we'll see. So challenges. I brought us today something that is called the mood meter. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's the coolest thing for you to have on your mirror when you first get up in the morning. Some days you wake up with some challenges, the other day you wake up with different challenges. Based on what life is bringing to you that day, you have to look at your mood meter. The mood meter has high energy and low energy. The high energy can be the good or the not so good. And the low energy can be the good and the not so good. I want to get a sense for where were you before you got here today? Because after we did the opening prayer, we are already in a better place. Coming in here, we are already in a better place. Just see yourself when you were getting out of your car before you got here tonight. Were you high energy on a positive side, like I'm excited, I am invigorated, so excited, in a positive high energy? Or am I anxious and worried, high energy on a negative side, like tense and hyperventilating, or my heart is just racing? Those both are high energy, but one is more on a positive, the other one is more on a negative side when it comes to serving you for your day. Then there is the low energy, the positive, and the little more challenging low energy. The low energy that is more on the negative side, I'm depressed, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling something is pulling me down, I'm heavy. My heart is heavy and I don't feel like moving much. That is low energy, more pulling me towards what's hard for me to deal with. But there is the low energy, I'm just chilled. I am content. When you look at me, you might not see that I'm super happy, but I have there is a serenity behind that face that tells you everything is cool. So you don't have to say it out loud. See where you are just before entering here tonight. No good or bad. You can get out of here exactly where you came, or you can leave out of here in a different square, in a different slice of this pie. It doesn't matter. It's all good. The one thing about the mood meter is about awareness. It's not where you are, it's how aware you are of being there. If I am in a low energy, feeling depressed, I know where I am, and I'm going to be cognizant of that when I'm talking to the other ones around me. So if I'm talking to a child and I'm more on a depressed, heavy side, I have to be aware of that before I talk to a child, so the child doesn't think I'm talking about her or that the child is there. So I have to protect the child from where I am tonight. The same thing if I'm feeling super anxious and life is not happening for me, I have to be aware of that. So when I am greeting somebody that requires a little more attention from me, I'm not brushing that person off because of my anxiety. The job of the mood meter is just bring awareness to where you are. It's not good or bad. It's where I am, and what I'm going to do with that is based on knowing where I am. That's huge. Knowing where you are is already a great step towards being where you want to be. Like Alice in Wonderland. If you don't know where to go, anywhere is fine. That's not what we want. We want to know where we are. We want to know where we want to go. So I brought here this book by Don Miguel Ruiz. This book is a tiny little book, very small. You can read it in one sit. This book, I read him talking about the book. It was channeled. He doesn't talk it that way, but this book was received. He says, I didn't really write those words. They came to me. So we understand what it means. And it came from the natives, I want to say from Mexican. I think from Mexico. I think it's Mexican natives that he channeled from that. So I want to talk about the 4 agreements and do like a parallel with Spiritism so we can see why did I pick this. There are so many self-help, improvement things out there, awareness. The 4 agreements is a perfect little cheat sheet for awareness of where we are today, where our mood meter is today. Agreement number 1, be impeccable with your words. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using words to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of the word in direction of truth and love. Last time we were here last month, we talked about the power of words. So that just go there again. The words are powerful. We talked about this. So we want to make sure that we have the power of the word. So let's use it wisely and put this power to good use. Yelling is not using your words properly. Because when you yell, that person already tuned you out. She's not even listening anymore. The yelling is an invitation for disengagement. The minute you yell at the child, checked out. I'm checked out. I'm not even listening anymore. And the more you yell, the more disengaged, not the child, any one of us. Or if you engage, you don't engage to converse. You engage to shut the other person down, even more so. So it doesn't serve us, right? And using what you mean. And don't use the words that don't serve you. And we also talk about the power of the energy of certain words. When you use curse words all the time, you invite the energy of those words into your conversation. Guess what? You're going to get all these interferences from things that are not so light. If you read poetry, if you read things that are uplifting before you have a hard conversation with somebody, guess what? You inviting those words to be part of the vibration of those good words are just there to help you. So think about that when we're thinking words. The agreement number 2, don't take anything personally. Not everybody's doing something just to, get you all upset. It's not always about you. We are not that important. That person might, again, their mood meter might be in a negative range or in a very low negative range. That is enough for that person to do something that you think it's doing to upset you. No, we don't know their story. We don't know where that person comes from. Even the people that are with us, let's say our child, because that's the one who came from us, so we think we know them from day one, we don't know their full story. This is why sometimes we take it personally. We don't know their full story. We know the story that we've shared with them from that day. We probably shared stories with them before, but we're not aware of them now. So our mood meter can only register what we are aware now. We can't register what happened 3 incarnations ago. So let's be mindful of that when we're taking things personally. And we say, oh, my son, he just knows how to push my buttons. He knows exactly how to push my buttons. We don't know his full story. So let's think about that. Don't make assumptions. That is a hard one too, right? You are already thinking what you're going to answer because you already know what she's going to say. The person hasn't even just looking at that face, I know where it's going. And your mind is already 3 steps ahead of what's going to be. And that person had no intention of doing anything like that, but we assume that that's what's going to happen. You assume you're going to lose your job, so you already go all guarded. You assume he's going to break up with you, or she's going to break up with you, and which sometimes might be a great thing. Great thing, if that's the right situation. Life happening for you, bigger picture. Let's think that about the things that are not serving you, that might look that are serving you, but not always. And the 4th agreement, always do your best. My best depends on my mood meter of the hour, sometimes of the minute. Right now, I am doing very well. 3 minutes later, My best might not look as my best right now, and that is okay, as long as I am aware of it and I'm not bleeding on somebody that did not hurt me. Because we tend to do that. We bleed on somebody that did not hurt us. So I got hurt here, I'm going to bleed on somebody else, and that person is going to bleed on. If I am aware, I don't go there. It's easier for me to measure my words, not assume anything, not take it personally, do my best when I am aware of where I am and what is really my mood for that moment. So that takes compassion, self-compassion, to say, you know what, today I'm not my best. So I know I can do much better than that, but since today is all I can offer, I'm going to take it easy, and I'm not going to put all these things on my to-do list because I might not be able to accomplish them all. So today, instead of doing 10 things that I had set up to do, I'm going to do 6. And that should be a great accomplishment for the way I'm feeling today. The next day, I'm feeling so good, and I've been recharged by my day, by the things that happened today. I'm going to go the extra mile for that person who could use some help. It all depends on where I am and how aware I am of where I am. So we're going to elaborate a little bit on those 4 agreements. The first one, be impeccable with your words. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brighten forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brighten forth that which is evil. For the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. What comes from your heart, you speak of what your heart is full, right? What you can be, evil is the harsh way to put it, because we're not really evil most of the time, but we're not having a good day. Let's just put in that. And in the Bible it says that what comes out of your mouth can be good or it can be not so good. But it's what's in your heart that comes out. So those impeccable words are based on what are you feeling? What is happening inside you? What is hurting you that you're ready to bleed into somebody with your words? We have to always remember that we speak of what the heart is full. And if I'm speaking all these ugly things, maybe I need to spend some time with my heart. And how about a heart-opening meditation when you sit and you just you feel your heart being warm and bring good things. We've done it before in here. When we bring all the good things to your heart, you're going to recharge your heart with some good memories. We've done it before. When we were here one night, when you say, let's just think about something really good that happened to you, bring it to your heart, replenish yourself. So maybe the words that are going to come out of your mouth are not so harsh towards the ones that don't need them. We don't need to profess them, and we don't need to receive them either. So it's a matter of us being aware of that. Don't take anything personally. Do not resist the evil that they wish to do to you. If someone shall smite thee on thy cheek, present him the other also. Take a deep breath. Because we don't want to do that. To the proud, his teaching seems cowardly because they do not understand that it takes more courage to support an insult than it does to take vengeance. This is always due to the fact that their vision does not go beyond the present. Again, when they go low, we go high kind of thing. We have to understand that we don't know their story. We don't know their mood meter for today. We don't know where they are. So the way to not take it personally is to understand. If they are hurting and they're bleeding on me, I don't need to keep that going. I can be that person that is more aware of what's going on, and I can break the cycle of I hurt you, that hurts somebody else, that hurts somebody else, and comes back. And then we create that cycle of unawareness that, you keep on hurting each other just because you're not stopping to think, hey, what's going on? What am I doing here? Just stop, pause, breathe. Why am I doing this? Once we understand that, we can respect and appreciate the fact that today I'm more aware than that person is. And today, when I say today, because tomorrow, I will be the one doing exactly the opposite. And that person, if I am lucky, that person is gonna be more forgiving towards me when I'm not having such a good day. We take turns when we say, offer the other cheek, because today it's me offering, the next day is you. We take turns on that. And in different incarnations, we take turns too. I come this time and say, oh, this person in my life has been so hard to deal with. It's like a curse. My whole incarnation, guess what? Last one, it was probably flip-flopped. It was probably you being the hard one towards that person. We gotta take it as it is, right? This is my turn, and then it's your turn. It's like kindergarten. We all get a turn. Now it's your turn. Now it's my turn. Yeah, your turn again. And this is why we come here, to take turns and hopefully grow together and taking turns in a better way. Don't make assumptions. The purest light is not obscured by any cloud. The most precious diamond is the one that is flawless. Judge the spirits based on the purity of their teachings. Do not forget there are many who have not yet freed themselves from their early ideas. Learn to distinguish them by their language. Judge them by the sum total of what they see. See whether there is a logical sequence in their ideas. I picked this from the conclusion of the Spirit's book, because it talks about when we are receiving messages and when we're learning about that, it talks about the quality of what they have to say is crucial for us to see what kind of message, what kind of spirit is bringing the message to us. But we are also spirits. We're just here incarnated, but we are same deal. So what I bring to you, when I say something to you, you need to take time and reflect on what I said. Maybe you need to research more before taking my word for it. Maybe you need to study more. Maybe you need to sit with yourself and see how that resonates with who you are. We're not just swallowing whatever somebody brings us. Very important is to consider how are we swallowing what the internet gives us. It feeds us, we just assume that this is all good, and then we just take it in. No criteria to evaluate, to assess the quality of what's been fed to us daily. Every minute we're getting this. And we are assuming that this is all good, that this is all true, that this is all good for me. Not necessarily. This is why we have a brain, to think and reflect. Does this serve me? This is that simple. Does this serve me? Sit with yourself long enough to understand, does this serve me? If it doesn't, let it go. If it serves you, sit with it a little longer and see how well it serves you. Always do your best. I don't think we even have to read that. Good people study their own imperfections and work unceasingly to combat them, using all their strengths so that tomorrow they will be able to say that they are just a little better than they were the day before. This is the true doing our best. It's not going to look great. It's not going to be perfect. As long as I'm making minute, little, tiny progress, I'm moving forward. The year has 365 days. If I make this year, I decided that on this day, I'm going to do a certain thing that I haven't been able to do last year. really well this one time, you made a progress. One day of the whole year, you were able to do something better. So next year, you are already ahead of the time. Important that we understand that we might not have a great day, but I can be aware of where I am and make a little progress towards what I think is my best for today. And when we take time to see where we were and where we're going, it's a lot easier to see progress. One thing that I love to do is look at my journal. Like, I just flip it open. It ends up being like 6 months ago or a whole year ago. And I read where I was, and I can really see myself there. And then I see how much I've accomplished since then. Some days were rough, but I can just say, you know what? I'm moving forward. Maybe not at the speed that I wanted to. I'm taking some step back. Sometimes I take it super slow, but I am moving forward. And that's what matters. Being aware that we're taking little steps, but we're moving forward. And that's our goal. So are we good with that? The words, we got to pick the good words. We're going to use them wisely. We're going to use the power of the words to uplift and not to bring people down. Then we're going to not take anything personal because we don't know their story. And we don't know the story from past lives either. We're not going to make assumptions. We're going to just see things for what they are, and we're going to research and further research the information to see if that's what serves us or not. And we're going to do our best. And our best will be different from day to day, from minute to minute, from life to life, right? So this is where we are. So what do we need to get there? Favorite beach? Jekyll Island in Georgia. Pause. The only way to get to those 4 agreements is to, throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the months, pause to be aware of yourself, where you are with those situations. Sometimes we just get on that hamster wheel and we don't even know what the whole day went by. Like, how did I go through this day? It's easier said than done. So we need to have a routine that invites us to go for that pause. For some people, it's their cup of tea at a certain time towards the end of the day. They make that and they sit. It's 5 minutes, but it's when they say, I'm going to reflect on my day. For some people, it's when they go to bed and just before they fall asleep and they reflect on how the day went. For other people, like me, is when I first wake up in the morning. The house is quiet and I got my time for myself. I like that. We're all different. But if we establish a time of the day that works for you, whatever time it is, sometimes it's during your lunch break at work, whatever works for you, that pause can save the day. So you are a better person. You can be stronger on your agreements for the rest of the day or for tomorrow or for the afternoon, right? So remember that the pause is something that we need to do. So now I'm going to show you that I'm so proud of this. I did that for work, but this is work too, right? It's different kind of work. The power of the breath. It's always there with you. So did I not do it? Okay. Peter?
No, that's it. Go again. Do it one more time. No, go back. Yeah, right there.
I'll give you guys 2 minutes. Just look. This is very simple. You can imagine that now that you have the visual. Just imagine you blowing. 2 minutes can save the day. And the breath is with you 24/7. If you wake up in the middle of the night, you can't fall asleep, go there. Just sit, the edge of the bed. Breathe, breathe. And that calms the brain, calms the mind, invites good vibration to help you be aware. And when you are aware, life is better. You might be going through a hurricane. You might be inside a tornado. Whatever is going on in your life, financial, physical, emotional, you name it. The breath can take you out of there. Just so you can step out a little bit and watch and say, oh, I can handle. And you know what? We don't have to handle for the next 10 months. All I want is to handle for the next 10 hours or 10 minutes. If we can handle the crazy tornado that is going in our head for the next 10 minutes, that's progress. We need to understand that we need to be compassionate. If your mood meter is going really down there on that red zone, this comes in handy. I can't say it enough. The breath, the breath, the breath. And I wanted to bring the visual because if you need a break and you stop at lunch break at work, just visualize something like that. It doesn't have to be this. It can be a dandelion that you're blowing. Anything that comes to mind. We're going to do a little meditation here. But before I go, I just want to go there. After we just did the breathing, what has changed? Did you go a little closer to a different mood area? Maybe you didn't shift to a different one. Maybe you didn't go from red to yellow, but you dialed a little closer to yellow. And that is progress. That's all we're hoping for. We are not here to put everybody in the happy Pollyanna place. I don't even know if everybody knows Pollyanna, but the happy, everything is happy, she makes everything happy. It doesn't always happen because life can be challenging. But if we can shift ourselves slightly towards something less intensely hard and a little higher towards the positive energy, that is progress. And we're going to have to pat ourselves on the back. Okay, I did it. The breath helped me. And that is enough for today. That is enough for this 10 minutes. Remember, 10 minutes of progress is huge progress. Just be kind to yourself. Be kind. Let's all be kind. Keep that in mind after the meditation, plus the passes. I want to see if any of this changes in your head. When you go home, when you go into your car, remember we did this before you walked in here and I said, where were you? So now when you get back in your car after you came, after you were here in this area where the spirits are here to help you and make this place super calm for us. And then we talk about something that is uplifting. And then we do breathing, and then we do a meditation, and then we go for the passes, and then you get in your car again. Let's see where this goes. And if you shift any little bit towards a more positive energy, that is progress. And that's the only thing we can ask for, is to try to get a little. If we didn't move anything, it's okay. Because guess what? This mood meter is available for you tomorrow again. When you first get up in the morning, just remember that. Where am I? And that's how we're going to figure out the tiny little progress that we're making every day. Right? But because we can't go without meditation, so here we go. We're going to have some fun. Woohoo. Deep breath in. Move your arms. Shake, shake, shake. Put your purses away. Everything loose, loose. Can we put some music? Soft? Anything? If you cannot close your eyes, you can just bring your gaze down towards the ground. Or, let me just see if I can just, I didn't want to have, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, okay, I'm going to leave this here. Okay. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Squeezing the belly into the spine, letting the air out. Inhale, big belly. Exhale, squeezing the air out, blowing out, shoulders down. Your jaw is soft. Forehead is soft. All is well. I'm choosing a pause. My favorite kind of pause. A place where I can sit, unhurried, where I can lower my guard and notice that I am here and life is happening for me. There are struggles, challenges in the background. But now, they are just in the background. This is a positive pause. I choose to recharge. So when I have to face my background again, it will be okay. I will be better equipped to see the path when I have more awareness, when I understand better where I stand. I sit here so comfortably. My body's warm. My breathing is soft and even. With each breath, my heart expands a little bit. The warmth expands a little bit. As I breathe, I feel a lavender color light coming from up above, shining through my body, warm, making me feel safe, making me understand that all is well. The light travels from the crown of my head softly through my face, neck, shoulders, arms and chest, belly, hips, legs, and all the way to my feet. With each breath, the light expands, the warmth grows, and my pause is perfect. Words come to my mind, and I let the power of those words be immersed in this warm light. Pause, and the pause touches every cell of my body, warm and expanding. Serenity, down from my head to my toes, warm and expanding. Joy, with each breath, joy expands. Love, compassion, gratitude, self-love, self-compassion, gratitude for this moment. Gratitude for this pause. All is well. I am aware of the path ahead. I will be able to make better choices. I will be able to think before I act, to think before I speak. I am doing my best, and my best is enough. Gratitude from head to toe, expanding, touching the ones around me, expanding to touch my family members, my friends, the ones I don't know that live nearby, the ones I don't know that live far away, expanding to cover the whole planet. My awareness can touch the universe. I am enough. We stay here, keeping this soft breathing, grateful for the protection of our guardian angel, the high spirits that are here to protect us and to teach us. We're grateful for the pause that allows for movement in a near future. You can stay here or softly open your eyes and come back with a calm heart, a soft breath, and a feeling of gratitude for this moment.